Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. It is Captain Wiz at the front of the plane today, and I've got with me my two co-captains, as per usual. We've got Captain Pave.
Oh, hello.
Currently stuffing his face, and Captain Funky.
Howdy.
And today, we're going to be talking about something that's, you may have noticed we've not been in the air for a little while, and today we're going to talk about why exactly that is, in the form of Elden Ring. The absolute scourge upon our lives for the last, we'll say, couple of months. Is that where we're at?
Elden Ring.
Who
What's
needs
that?
productivity? Oh yeah, what's that?
Never heard of it.
It's for anyone who in the back there that doesn't know what Elden Ring is. It is the most recent Souls game to come out from developer From Software, and needless to say, we all have something to say about it. I think is my point. So we're just going to get into this and see where it takes us. So, how are you two doing today?
Pizza. Good.
I already ate. So I'm not eating in the middle of the flight while we're on
Co-captain.
the
Co-captain.
He's
Sometimes
on
you get
break.
hungry.
He's on a break. He's on a
It's
break.
11-hour flight. I don't know how you're not eating.
Yo, yeah, you might have noticed we've skipped a couple of weeks. Just a few.
A little bit.
We got one episode is lost, gone.
The ether.
Just it's somewhere. It's somewhere in Elden Ring, probably at this point.
It was the absolute best one ever.
It
but don't
was
worry,
a good
we'll find
episode.
it. We'll make sure that Patreons, you'll be the only ones to view it.
Patreon.
It's going to be on the Patreon. Every time we're going to mention the Patreon.
Goodness.
We're just going to
that
start saying
episode
that we have a Patreon
gone.
when we never really
This
do.
episode is all about the ring. And by now, first thing I want to do is take a stab at it. Holy shit, the volume level when you start that. I know it's an epic game. I know it's epic.
Oh, yeah.
But holy shit, my monitors are shaking like crazy. Wow.
Oh my god, it's triumphant opening. I mean, it's good music though. You have to admit.
I feel like I'm in a concert. My hair is gonna be blowing backwards.
I feel like every time I push the start button and it's like blowing its load, I'm like taking a pillow and pressing against his face and going, "Shh, Elden Ring." Shh,
it will not be silenced.
I know.
It cannot be silenced.
It's fine.
Until it does.
So we all got different play styles. I'm rocking the daggers. I'm doing daggers.
We got Funky over here with the daggers, and then me and Paige over here with where he's going magic and faith. I'm just pure magic, and honestly,
no, you're better.
Oh, shut up! No,
He's a
no.
katana user.
Right, I'm gonna make this perfectly clear before we go into this, because I'm not doing an entire episode where you guys are going to dig into
yourself.
Me just because I'm just why Rivers of Blood is not being used in a meta way by Captain Wiz. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay, I use Rivers of Blood.
Or did you not
because
look up the YouTube videos to try to find the katana as fast as you can to grab it and start killing things when you join my game?
Yeah, when you join this game,
Lies and Slander.
20.
Because you're like a much higher level than me, so when you join, it levels you down. But your katana is like, and I'm like, whoa! It was nice.
That's not it. That's not how anything. That's not how it goes.
Yeah,
that's
not
the
Meta Knight.
Hey, oh my god. That's not how I play it, okay?
And then a poor. I feel so bad for the poor invaders that come. Oh,
okay. Here's my situation, right? I was using Roger's rapier for the entire game, and I wanted to switch it up. I was already thinking that. I was like, the next sword I'm gonna get, the next sword I get, I'm gonna use, and it just happened to be that sword. Okay, I didn't know it was a meta build. I didn't know it was a.
Maybe you should do that again. Maybe the next sword you get, you should use that sword from now on.
I'm not doing that either. I've got the sword I want to use next.
Yeah. You do?
I do, yeah. I've been trying to. I've literally been trying the entire my grind, if you want to call it that, for the last other than the final boss, just trying to get to the level of Dex to use Millennia's sword, Blade of Mikola.
So what's your main Pave is a wizard. I'm an
And faith user.
assassin.
How dare you?
Oh, you're using your faith now.
No, I'm
Yeah,
faith
he's all
and
faith.
magic.
Faith
No.
and magic.
He's all faith. He is
It's
the
good to have a little bit
devotee
of the
of
Holy Spirit in
God.
magic
you.
and like 70 faith.
I'm a
Like
little
that.
bit of faith too. I'm
Yeah,
I got all the
yeah.
dragon shit, all the dragon moves.
Yeah,
I
dragon
started off
Yes,
with that.
you
I
do.
picked when I went in. I picked a few things, and I'm just going with them. I'm going Dex, Faith, daggers, and I'm
like
just seeing where
straight up
that takes me.
like straight up, dude, even before like the buff, like faith is just such a nice utility. Like that thing that like heals you constantly. Oh, it's so
Oh,
nice.
so nice.
You know, and
It's so
then
nice.
when you're so high level in faith that the heal that you do for you cost mana, it basically heals you more than a flask. You can heal
Mhm.
multiple people in a large radius,
That
and it
too.
uses not that much mana. It's awesome. I love that.
It's great, and it's like, you just need to put everything into your mana flasks at that point. It
Yeah,
just takes a little bit longer,
yeah, it does.
which is like, I mean, near the end of the game, that is definitely a cruel response. I find that like the one thing with like a lot of people are like, oh, but if you go magic, then you're cheating the game. It's too easy. It's like, are you kidding? Are people having a harder time than what I was having? Because I spent like a solid 16 hours on that final boss, and it's
I
probably just because I suck at the game.
And even in the end, by the time I was like up to the higher level area, I was using the blade, that like magic blade thing that you like,
Mm,
pop out of your stick. Go swish,
yeah,
swish, swish. That's all I was really using.
carrion slicer. It's
Yeah, carry.
nice.
So is
So
there certain like topic points we can like if we just go with this general Elden Ring, we're gonna be all over the place. So let's
That's right.
narrow
Come on, lead
so
us, Captain.
I wanted to start with I wanted to start with just a few good things and a few bad things that we all have to say about the game. And I know already that there are a couple of things that we're all instantly
Oh
going to
yes.
agree on. But can we start with? We'll each start with something good, and then we'll trail into the bad. So I could start. I could start. I am pleasantly surprised by how it's just such a beautiful game. Like it is really beautiful. I don't get what those Ubisoft guys were talking about on Twitter, and it's like, oh, but the game looks half finished. It's like, shut up! You've never finished a game in your life. It's just the game looks exquisitely beautiful. Like it is. It's got so many areas that look so pretty, and there's just so many like different like they've packed a lot into this world, and you can feel it. Like there's a lot of traveling. It's like a grand trekking adventure. Feel like I'm the only one talking right now.
You are the only one talking right now.
I know, but like, I appreciate you letting me finish, but at least agree with me. It's like it's just like, you guys are like
Yes,
sitting
yeah,
there.
yes,
Very
yes.
I'm
good.
just
Cut
like-
that! We agree, 100%.
More, keep going.
I kind of, what,
No,
what?
but
Where we
like
get? Where's
the
going on?
game is beautiful,
It is
and then it's just
beautiful.
silence, and it's like, is the game not
I don't
beautiful?
know. I mean, it's beautiful. The only thing I have problems with is it has a very. I mean, obviously it makes sense given the giant motherfucking tree is gigantically yellow, but it has a very. Its whole entire game almost has a yellow tinge to it. It's a little orangey and tinge, like so. It kind of gets samey eventually, but
I mean, I suppose, but
Mm.
like
that's
Caelid is like red though,
that's goody.
and
So
then you've
instead
got
of
the whole underground
so
section.
I know, but you literally just said red, right? That's still on the warm spectrum, yellow, orange, red. I mean,
What about the
yes,
snow area?
I
That's
know.
blue.
I'm just saying nitpicking, all right? Okay, like this is just like half the game. When you really can't see the tree, then you're not really getting that yellow tinge.
Yeah,
But
So basically, we can all agree, or I can say for myself, game 10 out of 10.
yeah,
However,
yeah, 100%.
when you're trying to find the flaws in it, and you're talking about the color hues
oh,
is
man.
like the biggest thing, then it's a great game. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come with some flaws. Like for instance, Skyrim is 10 out of 10, but it's got some issues, right?
Wait, can
I
I
mean,
interject for a moment?
What's going
It
on?
Mhm.
can't. Can I interject? It can't be 10 out of 10 for you. You know why?
Why?
Because your Lord and Savior Angry Joe didn't give it a 10 out of 10.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He gave it a 9. I thought.
Nope, you get a 10 out of 10. Insert screenshot right
Ooh.
here at 10 minutes.
It's a screenshot. Jesus
Really?
Yeah,
Christ.
I don't
it
think
gave
he
it
did. I
a
thought he
10 out of
gave
10. My Lord and Savior Angry Joe, I don't think about my friends. I'm like, they're like, oh man, do you want to play this game? You want to do this? You want to do this? And I'm like, I don't know. Angry Joe said he gave that game a 5 out of 10. I can't play it, and they just like cursed me out for it. I'm like, I follow Angry Joe to
Oh,
a
it
T.
is. It is a 10 out of 10.
It is,
Okay.
yeah.
Exactly. So
He said I remember them not being. It wasn't like 100. Like
he said it could be like a 9. Like he was talking about it,
Yeah.
but then he gave it a 10 out of 10 at the end.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy.
So
That's not a full 10.
okay, whatever.
That's
It's
wishy-washy.
I
10.
saw a 10 out of 10.
It's
It's
a
a 10 out of 10.
wishy-washy 10.
But however, here's what I'm gonna say about the little issue. Okay, so
Uh-oh.
you know
Mm.
people
Little
play
issue.
On a controller.
Wait, I
you
thought
do
we were
mouse
talking
and
about good
keyboard.
stuff right now.
Yeah, that's I like how the two of you immediately went into flaws as
Okay,
soon as
well,
I
I got
finished
the
up mine.
flaw. I got the
I was
flaw.
playing
Do you want?
devil's
All right, let's
advocate.
talk about the negative stuff. Clearly, this game has nothing good to offer.
Let's do the negatives first because everyone knows.
No,
Everyone
but like
knows
that's
how
the good
great the
shit. That's the
Hey,
saucy shit.
Funky,
It
It's
gotta
fresh.
make
It's
them
fresh
wait
in my
for it.
head. It's
Funky,
fresh in my
Funky,
head.
are you leading this? You're not. So let's
Oh my
let's let the
god! I have to
captain lead it.
rethink. I have to rethink what I'm going to say
That's
now.
right. Yep.
I'm going to do mutiny on
I'm
this damn
sorry you
captain.
prepared for the wrong. I'm sorry you were given a homework task and you did it wrong.
Okay,
Redo it.
okay. We're talking about the person that played Blade Sorcery up until the last like 2 minutes when we start, and then
I'm
and then
so
picks the
sorry
topic.
that
We're gonna do
you-
oopsie doopsie moments, and now we're doing Elden Ring in the last second.
I just like it how this was supposed to be a feels good episode. And
It was supposed to be a feels good episode. And
Oh,
Funky is
angry.
very attacking me right now. I mean,
Well, you're coming
I-
at me.
I'm sorry, but
Anyways,
come on.
Okay.
I personally, I kind of going off what Wiz was talking about in terms of the world. My God, no matter where you go, no matter where you look, there's always something interesting to find. It's so
That's
cool.
true.
It's perfect for the person that just like. Honestly, you can just go brain dead in terms of not combating. You have to be kind of like aggressive.
It's like
Concentrate.
Breath of the Wild
like,
had a problem with that.
Yeah, you just like go around. You just go. You can no matter where you go left, up, down, everywhere, and there's just always some hidden, nice little feature, some cool thing you can find. And God bless,
cave
I
is an
really,
enemy.
It
I
encourages
personally,
exploration.
it definitely
yeah,
does, and I
it's
really
really nice.
it's also it's just good. It's a good world.
Okay, I
love
got
it.
something
Yeah.
positive to say now. Okay,
Right.
You do.
so
for sure.
yes. Okay, so when's the last time? You don't have to answer this. Is a theoretical. What is it? Well, the theoretical question.
Rhetorical.
The rhetorical question. So the last time you were just like wowed by a gaming moment, right?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. No, Breath of the Wild is up there.
It's a rhetorical question.
Well, I mean, okay, Breath of the Wild. That's also a fantastic game. So
Yeah,
the last one, because I didn't really get into that, but when the jump from the jump from the Xbox to the 360, right, and then one of the launch games was the first Assassin's Creed, and like the graphics and the it was like brand new mechanics, all that stuff. And it was just like,
Which one was this?
Wow, the very first one.
Yeah, I love that game.
It was I literally you physically stop and you're just like,
Never played it.
whoa. And ever since from that point on, because Assassin's Creed franchise kind of sucks. Let's be real. Okay,
Yeah,
besides the
kinda
first one and the Black Flag. Okay, whatever.
Black Flag.
Black Flag was fantastic. Anyway, so
Again, never
fast forward all the way. This is the very next wow moment where it blocks your vision. You know, there's tall buildings or whatever, and you're going through this, and then you go through the little tunnel, and it opens up into this gigantic underground city. Or if you at the very beginning, you walk out of the tomb, you walk out of like the little tomb cave wherever you start off in, and it just opens up, and the ambient noise, and it's just like wow. Like I dropped the controller. It's seriously like it's like goosebump moments. You know, I got goosebumps on my end.
You know what's funny? Like I know I was joking about it a moment ago, but in reality, I had the same kind of reaction when it came to the game of BioShock. When you first go down into there, and then like the whole little intro.
Oh yeah,
BioShock. City, and you're like, wow, same kind of thing.
They really took you on like a tour of that
amazing.
place before you landed.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's like look at this beautiful place, and then there's something screaming at you. You know, it's just casual.
Yeah, it's crazy.
BioShock. We need to talk about BioShock at some point.
Becoming game reviewers.
Become game reviewers. Yes.
Yeah.
There's money in that. There's money in that.
But yeah, that's like the last time I had a huge wow moment was playing this game. It's like, knocked my socks off as I was playing, dude.
It's nice that
So
video
it
games
seems
can
like
have that.
the world is definitely a positive for all of us.
Yes,
We all love
definitely.
we all love the
How it
real
all
life.
works, like how there's hidden secrets in every little
Mechanics.
detail, the environment, the graphics. There's people that are complaining about the graphics. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The graphics
Yeah,
are
they're kind of crazy.
amazing.
Looks really good.
Exactly.
Now here's like a point of contention in terms of the world. So we all love how everything looks beautiful and stuff, but what do we think about the little messages on the ground? 'Cause
I'm it's distracting, but it's sometimes funny to see.
oh, it's so good.
I
I
agree.
think
Yeah,
by, like,
it's
by
distracting
the
and funny at the same
100th
time.
hour, after doing it for so long, you just kinda want them to go away, which you probably can make them go away,
You
but,
can.
like
You can.
Yeah,
I
you
just
can.
kept them there because it's, like, sometimes because I know for a fact, Pabe, you had a definite, like, quarrel with them because they were ruining aspects of the game.
Yeah, basically my what I decided to do eventually was if I was in a dungeon or a place that I knew was going to be more puzzly mechanics or like hidden secrets or like dangers around the corners, I stopped reading them because I liked to
You wanna
kind of
figure
find
it
Figure
out
out.
it out on your own,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just that's the
Right.
whole point of the game is to figure out yourself. So,
Right. But out in the world, I'm all for it because they're always
do
really
they ever
funny.
get in your way when you're trying to pick up an item or something like that, and it's just like read
Um
message or pick up
there's
item?
only one that ever got in my way. It's the one and I think we all had trouble with this. At least I know Funky did because I saw
It was a lever. They
no,
jumped on
it
the
would never
lever and they put the thing on the lever. The
well, that
sign.
too, but, like, the most southern literally the most southern place you could possibly go with that little boss at the end of, like, this
Yeah.
castle,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Mhm.
at the very bottom, and then there's, like, that point that you can go in, and for some reason, someone could place a message there, and you just couldn't get the point to work, and I personally had to, like, quit, turn off the messages, just with all the onlines, just so I could save myself on there, and, the stupid thing is it had so many likes because
I think I definitely, like that was, like, the one time a message got in my way because I remember you warning me about it, and then I came across it, and the exact same thing happened to me, and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, no." But then I don't think I've had any, like, other like, I'm fairly certain the game, like, updated itself so that it was always, like the more important things would always be kind of near the top rather than
Yes.
like, the messages, because I feel like a lot of people would have got a lot of trolling material out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Like, a
definitely
lot of like, especially with, like there's a few ladders I can think of where
solid
it's just
snitch.
absolutely the worst places that you could put a message and have them be read first.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, they do that with it. They know what's down there and what like dangers you
Mhm.
have to do. So it's like, haha, funny to know that someone desperately trying to go to this ladder, finding out there's a message there that says to read the message instead of actually using the ladder.
Or
Mhm.
you go next to a wall and a message is there, a hidden pathway, and you smack it, nothing happens, and you feel like an idiot.
Yeah,
I mean, that is, like, the only kind of trolling I think actually still works in this game
And
because
then
it's just
it's got
there's
like
so
30
many.
appraisals or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
and
30
it's like, "Do I
trolls
trust
appraising
it?"
it.
I'm like,
Man.
That's the way to do it. Um, so obviously the world is like a definitely big place, good place, awesome place. Love to be there. Um,
Love to be
uh,
there. I don't know, man.
well, no,
The
I mean,
enemies,
when I'm
dude.
in
The
there, when
enemy
I'm there.
designs. The fucking the hand
Right.
with the 10 fingers.
Oh,
Let's talk
Ugh,
about
paint
the
those
enemies
things.
are just like insane.
Yeah, they're
they're
very
Like
cool.
crazy, like
they've never like
freaky deaky.
the eagle with like
Yeah, there you
the
go.
sword feet. I made a little video about my first my encounter with them. That they're just doing
Hashtag sword feet.
acrobats, flipping in the air. I remember in the video I was trying to find like an item, and one just jumped out, ambushed me, and it slit my throat. I was screaming
Yeah,
to be
screaming bloody
safe.
Mary.
Yeah, that was good.
It was it was very it's
They're all
funny, but
very
it's
they're
very
all
unique.
very unique. And I
Some
don't
of
know
them are
if we're moving
hideous.
in I don't know if we're moving into more of the negative things because the kind of leeway off that then the flip side or the other side of the coin is that there's a lot of great new enemies and stuff, but they after a while you can see that they kind of like especially bosses they keep because
Oh,
there's so
really?
many bosses. You'll eventually fight the same boss over. Or like you'll fight him, but he's like slightly harder, or there'll be like
I want a
two
disclaimer.
bosses
Yeah.
that you fought. They're
I
now
never beat the
joined
game
together.
yet, so I think I've only seen like one reskin of a boss. So I'm
Yeah,
still.
it happens.
I mean,
I mean, the
it's not
further you
like
go down in the game, the more and more often you see these
Yeah.
bosses, and then
it's
eventually you start seeing
definitely
them
like
as regular enemies out in the world, which is kind of cool. But
which is yeah. You get those like boss not bosses as we call
yeah,
them.
boss not boss.
But then there's like also spoilers for the main game. If you haven't finished it, I'll be very surprised by now. It is
We
February it came out. It's
I
like,
literally
no.
just
Let's
said I
just
didn't finish
I
it.
know, but
let's not say any kind of spoilers.
it's just it's along the same lines though.
Okay, well that's great, but if it's I don't want
Okay,
don't, there's a reason I didn't mention any specific bosses.
that's
You know
fair.
what I mean? But yeah,
But,
My turn. Okay,
I haven't.
back
What
when
do you
I was.
mean my turn?
God damn it!
Just
well, we all know.
you're
All right.
interrupted me
By the
once.
way,
You interrupt me again.
we all know the one negative. No one can take that one negative.
Let's
We
say it at the
all
end.
know
Let's
what
say
it's
it at
gonna be.
the end.
Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, I was just gonna bring it up just now.
Okay, I'll go then.
Oh,
I'll go
no,
then.
yeah.
Okay, so you're playing that controller. All right, rewind 10 minutes ago. This is what I was trying to say. You're playing with the
Okay.
controller, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Why do you have to be throwing up gang signs to sprint and look around? Because you have to hold B, Xbox controller. You have to hold B.
Oh,
You have to
yeah.
you have to bend up your
Yeah,
index
yeah,
finger,
yeah.
and you have to make literally the finger that it's talking about to sprint, and then you have to be moving around.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? I getting arthritis in my hands by doing this shit. It's
I know,
ridiculous.
Yeah, like
So
doing
some of the
sprint or, like,
optimizations in the control
trying to
scheme.
switch spells or something or items that while you're
Yeah, like
running.
you said, you were using a scroll wheel. It's so much easier, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ended up just sticking on the controller because it was what I knew. But yeah, it really does. Like, I honestly would consider going to the mouse and keyboard just because, man, if you're a magic user, you're constantly flipping spells around, and you have a lot of
Mhm.
spells in your inventory. You know, there's no way of going back. You can only go back to the very beginning. You can't like go back like by once. You have to like if you miss it, you have to be like, oh, and then you just spam your up D button a million times to get to that spell that you were actually trying to get to.
I mean, you can go back to the beginning though. That's
I
like
know.
the only thing you can do.
I literally just said that. I said that was the
I,
only
I
thing
thought you
you
said. I thought you
can't
said you
do.
couldn't. I
No.
misheard.
So yeah, it gets annoying.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit annoying.
Another thing I noticed, if I may take another turn,
Yeah, go for it.
and Payview, you basically said the same thing here. So I'm in favor of trying to figure it out by myself, like not giving exactly
Yeah.
go from here to this cave, and then your character goes, I should explore this cave as he's walking around. Like, there's a big old quest marker. So I get like that's not in there because you want it's an exploration exploring game. You want to explore stuff. However, doing some of the quest lines, and they're speaking like green eggs and ham, what Dr. Seuss like riddles,
They're
like
far too cryptic.
they're
That's
so it's so
They
cryptic.
speak in the weirdest, like DOD English that
Like,
is
what are they
possible.
saying?
yeah.
I blame George R. R. Martin
And
for
then-
being a bad influence on the Japanese.
It's
And that's
cool
like-
and all, but like some of these, I need a little guidance, like a tiny guidance. I don't
And
want
then-
I
Yeah,
don't want
little
them to hold my hand. I just want a little like, hey, go in this area at least.
And
It's
that's
just
like
such a
another thing, right?
nightmare.
Like, and this is the entire game. And I know that the creator, he was like a child or whatever. He couldn't read, so he had like think about making the story all
Huh,
himself.
idiot.
But this is a video game, right? This world is so unique. We even said it. This world's so unique. There's so many cool, unique characters. There's so many stories that you want to know, but they don't tell you anything. You know what I mean? And you have to, if a game is requiring you to go onto Google or to go onto a YouTube video, watch the 30 to 40-minute YouTube video, explain the lore of this game,
Yes.
then the game is not doing its
Yes.
job at trying to tell you
Mm.
the story of the game. You know, and I understand the purpose of it is the whole, like we just talked about, you infer it yourself. But a lot of people don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
A
given
lot
an
of people
awesome
are
story.
lazy.
You should not have to leave the game to learn more about the game.
Yes.
And then I know there'll be people out there that will be like, well, all the lores and all the object descriptions and all the items that you can find, and it's like, but no one.
Nobody's
I'm
sitting
sorry.
there.
We have
a
a
lot
job.
of
We
a
have
few
jobs.
people.
We have families. We have things to do besides.
I
sit
still spent
there.
100 hours on this game, and that was
know.
without looking at the lore.
How many hours have I played? Let's see.
Like you're definitely in like the
Like 180 or
160,
something.
180. Jesus,
Elden Ring.
you're up high.
183 hours. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh, and that's
And-
without looking at the lore.
Well, yeah. I mean, I looked up some of the lore, but it's
I
just
got 47. I'm still a noob.
And
dude,
just to make it up, I got 141. So
it's just not.
that's
Yeah, that's probably one of my biggest gripes, besides the one that we're mentioning. It's just the whole. I really want to know about the story. I really do.
yeah,
Like, it's
it's
so unique and
interesting.
cool, but I just wish it just kind of
Like you
yes, I wish
wouldn't
it spoon
think
fed it to me because I wish
you
it's I'm not trying to. It's like trying to read a book, but you first have to find all the pages of the book and then figure out what order they are in. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no numbers.
yeah,
There's no binder. You got to find all there's backs and fronts are all separated.
yeah. But that's probably my biggest gripe about that game. Everything else I love.
All
Love the
right,
combat. Love the
let's
enemies.
bring up the big
World.
one.
I was literally just about to do
Yeah,
that. Who's
bring
the
it.
captain today, Funky? I feel like I feel
I
like
know
you're overstepping your boundaries
I've
here.
been
You
saying
know,
it so you could bring it up, but
Oh yeah,
I know
co-captain.
you forgot.
and with the biggest reveal ever, Captain Wiz.
Oh,
Number
whoa,
one.
crazy! Oh, it's me! Oh, Jesus! So one thing that we all
Already
agree on,
boiling inside.
we're all roiled, we're fucking mad. This game, and I understand a little bit because the game is not made for multiplayer,
Oh,
but it has
everyone already
multiplayer
knows.
features. It has multiplayer features, so why the fuck doesn't it work right?
It never fucking works.
It's
It's
well, here's the thing. We'll get in. Like the three of us have all played together. We've all had our go. We've all had
we've
a
had different
fun time.
groups. We played with different people. We played
Yeah,
together.
I live in the UK. They live in the Americas, in different states, and then we've played with other people that are also in different parts of the UK, different parts of Europe, different parts of America, different parts of fucking the rest of the world. It doesn't matter. The consistency of which the multiplayer fails is ridiculous. It is ridiculous to an extent that is just not okay. It is not okay for to release in a game that is as big as this. And I have said
And
that
where's your summon sign at? It's over here.
I can already hear the sweaty neckbeards in the back saying, "We don't need multiplayer. It's because you have no friends and you don't want to play. You want to play by yourself."
It's
the
more fun
sweaty
to play
neck
with friends.
if y'all are a sweaty Elden Ring player and you're playing it to do PvP and it works just fine for the 20 seconds that you're going to be using it for, sure, that's fine. Glad you're getting your fill, nerd. We're not. You give us the biggest and most open and the most explorative game ever created, and you give us the option of multiplayer, which works for as long as you need it to work for, but not for everything
And the
else.
thing is, it's not even a long instance. So, for example, Wiz and I, we spent
Mhm.
maybe, oh my God, like hours and
Hours,
hours and hours
hours.
trying to fight the second to last and the last boss. And not because it was difficult. I mean, at the beginning it was, but
Mhm.
because we kept disconnecting
Yeah.
consistently. You know what I
And here's the
mean?
thing as well, like it would be better if it was like, oh, because when you join someone in multiplayer, everything scales up to match two players worth of damage. The same thing applies to bosses. But if your player that you're playing with somehow disconnects in the middle of that boss is still going to have double the amount of health. And I guarantee you do not have double the amount of damage and potions to make up
Yeah.
for that damage that you now need to fill in. It is like doing half of an impossible task.
The
And it
desync
is
issues are like just
as well.
Bad.
Yeah.
way too much to
Oh yeah,
not
that
point
too.
out.
So at the beginning of the game, we didn't like the whole invading system. I didn't like
Mhm.
it because I didn't like how people would join in and ruin the fun for us because it just kill us all. But as we got on and we got better in the game and we actually started winning, it became really fun. Well, the one thing that it's not fun about is when the guy or where or everyone else is just popping, lagging everywhere. You know, like you hit someone, and then like literally 2 or 3 seconds later, they finally take the damage. You know what I mean? Like
Literally
it's just
playing like
not.
Fox in
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. Right now. You're just like, hiya! Oh my god, it's
Or like,
crazy.
yeah, or like there was an instance where we were in a higher level area, and this person came in, and they were like on my screen. They were literally like the T pose equivalent of just standing still, and some invisible force just murdered me, and then I could see over the host, which was Wiz at the time, The
Mhm.
guy was still like not really moving, and then he just dies over there on that. I'm like, what? Yeah,
Chink.
what? It feels so stolen. Like the
It does.
victory feels so hollow when something like that happens. You know?
Where
It's
you
like it
joined me and
Mhm.
we were in one of the castles and you just couldn't do any damage to like bad guys. Like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
damage was disabled. You were just there to distract them. And this
yeah,
just
dude.
the fact just trying to get someone summoned in. Like you have to just draw on the ground.
Oh,
And where's the
I
summon sign at? Did you do your fingers? You gotta do it after I spawn in. Oh, you did too?
There's a lot of
You gotta
finicky
turn off, turn it back on. It's
recognize
like holy
when
like,
I
shit.
when I
From
first heard
Software Oops, sorry, you go.
when I first heard about the finger thing, I had no idea what the hell they were talking
Mhm.
about, and it's kind
Draw
of
your
sad that
finger on the
now I know exactly
ground.
what to do
You
and
gotta
how
draw your
exactly to
name
do
in the
it.
Draw
sand.
your finger on the ground. Draw your
Yeah.
piss your name into the snow. Come on.
It's just and there are people that are out there that say, it's because this is what they used to do. And that's the thing, right? With that kind of mentality, the past isn't always right. If that would be the
Mhm.
case, then there'd be still slavery and there's all that stuff. And I guarantee most people won't want that.
Out
So
here
it's
comparing
called
Elden Ring to
progression,
slavery.
and this game needs to progress into the modern era, which it clearly is not.
Well, I
It's
mean,
such a
it
simple fix.
happens.
There
It
needs to be
happens.
like near places where you would invite your a friend, right? Like a dungeon or whatever. There should be like a little statue or something like that, and that's the spot where you invite your friends.
Oh no, you
Every
can't.
time.
Well, that is
I'm just saying like it's an easy fix. That's what it should be. They could add instead of just trying to draw on the sand, and then you have to use the thing to invite your friends, and then you have to use it at the
or
correct time.
or I don't know, maybe they just use I don't know, Steam or
Or
the
is like Steam in
PS4
there.
Yeah.
interface, Xbox. I'm sorry, I'm not putting my finger in the sand is not going to be more immersive
Come
than
on,
using
draw your
my
name in the
Steam.
sand.
You know what I mean?
How would you
I,
summon another
Draw your name in the
tarnished?
sand
And
so you could come in and get disconnected within 5 seconds.
and you know
I'm
what?
going to
Clearly,
bring up the milk argument. Like, which tarnished was the first one to figure out that if he wrote his name in gold in the snow, that he would summon someone else to his party?
probably just explains, but obviously not in the game, but in the past game of War, why this is the case. I know what
Dark
happened.
Souls 3,
But
maybe.
and clearly we're not the only ones that think this because there's this modder that's making literally the online portion of this game playable and not
Better
ridiculous.
multiplayer.
Yeah. Thank God.
Removing all of that. Don't know who that guy is, but listen, guy,
Amen to
you
that
got the
guy.
right idea.
Yeah, amen to that guy.
You're the
Now,
developer that we need.
I want with that all being said, it's still like 10 out of 10. Best one of
Yeah.
the best games I've ever played. Probably my top 5 I've ever played in my life. So
Oh yeah. Okay. So wait.
now we
Hold
gotta do
on.
damage control. Before there's any hate comments, don't thumbs down the video. By the way, we can't even see it, so don't even bother thumbs it down.
Damage controls.
A great game, fantastic. The only
Oh,
the
fantastic.
complaints we do it because we love it so much. We want to, just little tiny like these things are like tiny issues. Besides the multiplayer thing, because that's kind of a big issue. But it's like it's a pretty damn good game. If you ask me.
Right.
It
So
is a
It
good game.
is.
Really good game. Like for me and for Pave, that is that's our first game, our first Souls game. Which and I will say, like I know I suck at those games, so I don't tend to go out my way to play them. This was up there. This is really good, and that kind of brings me on to the kind of next topic of discussion. Do we think this game is going to win Game of the Year?
Yes.
yes.
I do.
Next
I
topic.
do.
Hands down. Next topic. Okay, yeah, we all think that.
No,
So,
no.
What else
I
could
mean,
compete? What else could compete with it if it
well,
coming out?
the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
no.
That game is fun. That game is funny, but
It's
I don't
funny.
know.
It's got good
That
writing.
can't.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I had a
can't go
few.
into the Elden Ring.
I don't
Let's
actually.
see.
What
We
other games have came out
have.
this year? That's the thing. Like, too much of our time has been
Is
spent
Breath of
on
the Wild
Elden
2
Ring.
coming out this year or is it next
No,
year?
Yeah,
that
it's
that's the
next
one
year.
I honestly I thought would if it was this
If
year
that's
that
coming out
would
next
rival
year,
it.
then Elden Ring has it.
Yeah, Elden Ring
Yeah,
definitely has it. And you know
yeah.
what's funny? I want to kind of like say about this. So I'm an individual. This just shows for those that are a little bit, I don't know, sketched out about playing this game because it's difficult, hard, whatever. This is coming from a person that before playing this game or even hearing about this game, I did not like Dark Souls.
Mm.
I thought they were lame, stupid. They were all the same. They had cryptic stories, which this one still does, and it was unnecessarily difficult. It looked fun, but I didn't want to put myself through the stressful situation, which I did at one point, and I didn't. I regretted it. Um, and I rolled my eyes when I heard that this was going to be the most anticipated game of the year. I
Yes.
I was like, oh goody, another Souls game to the 40 of them that are already out.
It's
Um,
such a
but
like,
by the end
it's
of
always the
this,
same with all of them.
by the end of playing this game, I 100% say that this is probably one, if not the best game I've ever played.
It's up there.
It's
I,
very good.
I'm still in shock that a game finally actually met with the hype of it. The
Yeah, I mean,
hype was so
Finally.
was
high,
this game
and it
delayed?
was even with the hype or even above the hype when it finally came out. I'm like, holy shit! An actual completed game with no microtransactions, no bullshit.
I know,
Like
right?
it's an actually good game. What? I'm like, this is
I know.
that
Like,
doesn't make any sense anymore. It's supposed to
like
be a what's it called, a pre-alpha game. What do they call the unfinished games that they release on
Early
Steam?
access?
Early
Early
access.
access.
Early access. Yeah, buy it
Greenlit.
today.
everything
Get
is
It's a
the
greenlit.
greenlit
exclusive.
game.
Get the exclusive skin at GameStop if you pre-order with this code. And no, none of that. It's a
None
finished
of that.
game, and
You know,
they're adding more to it with the updates and obviously. So
you know what's sad about this? Remember,
Mhm.
there's this one portion where you go. We were talking about the Bioshock place, right? We were
Yes,
yeah,
talking
Rapture.
about it. We just Rapture. Not talking about Bioshock, but I'm just trying to. I'm not trying to say what
Compare,
it
compare.
is. Just so you guys know the area of Elden Ring that I'm speaking about, where I was like
Mhm.
referencing that whole area, right? Like when I went there, I was like genuinely surprised that this wasn't like DLC. You know what I mean? Like areas like that would have completely like if it was Ubisoft, the people that are just so angry about this game, they would have definitely
oh
nickel
yeah,
and dime
it
people.
would have been you
The
would have
whole
came across an invisible wall and be like, pay
yeah,
$5 to experience this
to
area.
add,
You
oh my
know,
god,
Yep.
I
It's just
guarantee you that would have happened. It's like
like
this
already in the
game.
game. It's
it
like,
was
oh
just
no, pay $5.
it was just experiences after experiences after experiences where I literally could see developers making like DLCs for these because they were so large, so encompassing, so like awesome. You know what I mean? Like it was great. It's just great.
Is it? Yeah. No, there's so many. Like I had a lot of areas in that where it was kind of I just to kind of label it back to the game of the year discussion. It's hard for me to like. I don't like these games. I still don't because I guarantee you, like I only played Elden Ring because it had the hype. It's free roam, it's open world,
And that was like
and you can jump. That's another thing that's just in there that's great. But with Dark Souls, it's just a lot worse, I suppose. Like I don't know. It's like you don't. I don't want to go back and play Dark Souls 1. I don't want to play Sekiro. I don't want to play Dark Souls 2 or 3. I don't want to do any of that. Elden Ring is definitely on the right track for a game that is open enough for new players to get in. Myself, Pave, and literally like taking these elements of what I loved about Breath of the Wild and then just throwing it into an even bigger and even more vast and more packed game. Like I'm still finding things that I haven't found in the game, even after
After how many
hundreds of hours.
hours?
I'm in 140 hours deep
After
right now, and
140 hours, still find new
I've
shit.
just started
I mean,
New
even
Game
same here.
Plus.
182. You know,
Like
Yeah.
there's and I guarantee you I've not found I know for a fact I've not found nearly as much
of course
stuff
you
as
haven't because you
Dave
looked at the
has.
guides.
Gosh, I haven't
guides.
looked up
Blade
guides.
swords. Use your blade swords, Mar.
Gotta get all the equipment stuff before I go to the next game.
I found achievement. I was looking for the achievements, okay?
I'm gonna go.
How cool
Actually,
would
I,
it
I
be?
think I
was being
legitimately got these achievements. I think I actually got the legendary. I got some legendary something.
I got the sorceries and incantations
You know what they
probably.
need
Yeah,
to
oh,
do
legendary
to
ashes. I got the legendary
you
ashes.
Oh,
know
you
the-
got legendary ashes?
you know what they need to do to improve flights? Instead of having movies in the seats, just have
Have us.
copy an Elden Ring. You play Elden Ring.
Oh my
You're on a
God.
flight.
If you want to get off of today's flight, you have to complete Elden Ring within the allotted time.
Everyone's played Elden Ring.
My God,
That'd be
man.
fun.
Some people would never make it off the plane.
Elden Ring's going to be able to be played on the Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. I'm interested to see if that actually is true because
Of course it will be.
I sometimes crash. My computer sometimes crashes when I'm playing Elden Ring. So if a Steam Deck is going to outperform that, then I'm curious to
Mind
see.
you, it's going to have gimped graphics and stuff. It's not going to be like.
No, it's handheld. Yeah, it's going to be capped at 30 FPS, which
well, it
for
goes up
all
to
of the
60.
players, it goes up to 60.
Right,
Oh
it
my
does.
God.
Yeah, some games go up. I don't know.
It's
Elden Ring goes up
crazy.
to 60.
It's going to be crazy. The Steam Deck. We'll have another discussion about the Steam Deck in the future.
I'll maybe in July because that's apparently when I'm supposed to get one.
You get your Steam Deck. Steam Deck.
Well, that's exciting.
Anyway,
I'm not getting no Steam Deck, but I
I
just use a
want to get
laptop.
one.
I don't know.
I really do want to
Yeah, I
get one.
know. Honestly,
Or if I could get if I'm Pave, I know you have like a really good laptop because I used it when I was over at yours, and I'm fairly certain it was better than my PC at the time. So I'm like, there's a part of me that kind of just wants to save up and get like a decent laptop like that.
They're good laptops are good.
Good, like getting a good laptop, I think, is important, especially for editing like that. But so lastly, just before we come in for a landing, we are each give our own general review of the game. Just a general summed up review. Your review and ranking, if you like, of the game. Starting with one of you.
Oh, you want to be the last one this time?
I want to be the last one this time.
Starting.
I think it's a good game.
That's garbage. Start over. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm all about my two daggers doing no damage really quick. Just kidding. I'm actually doing damage now.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's good. It's full of surprises. I recommend if you're playing it, don't have any of your friends that okay, let's face it, some of your friends have no lives and they have like literally 500 hours in the game when a week after it came out. How's that possible? I don't know. They don't have a job. Tell them to get a job. Anyway, don't see those friends. Don't look up YouTube videos. Just play the game, and that's the best way of playing it. And I'm still really new into it. I have not even reached there's a capital somewhere. I've not reached the capital yet. I don't even want to know where it's at because I'm wandering off doing my own thing. And every time I die more than 5 times, I summon my wizard buddies here to come help me out.
Right.
And I'm actually tuning in to my other channel, Detective Funky / YouTube. A funny moment happened, and it's going to be a video. I'm going to be sharing cool secrets. So that's going to upcoming.
Cool.
It's not there
yeah,
yet.
Getting your neck slit.
I'm doing some self promotion here. Well, no, there's more neck slitting. There's a lot of death. You can hear me raging, and who doesn't love that? So, but no, overall, it's like top 5 games. I think I've had to rearrange. It's literally reconsidering my top 5 games of all time, and I have games down there that are up in that list from like Super Nintendo era. Like, I mean, my entire history of playing games. This is like probably
It's up there.
It's up there.
It's getting there.
It's definitely not number 1. If you want to know what number 1 is, watch the Christmas episode.
I know my number 1.
Anyway, yeah, that's my.
What do you rate it? What's your rating?
6 out of 10.
All right.
It's one of your best. It's in your top 5. 6 out of 10.
Yes, it's all right. It's all right.
He's a harsh master.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Best game of my life. 6 out of 10.
Man, that 10 out of 10.
6.5. 6.5.
That's gonna be like you going into the Matrix like levels of interface.
Yeah. A 10 out of 10 for me is Fortnite. I'm
literally, the graphics are literally the real world 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, that's it. The graphics are we're
Let's be
living in the
honest.
game.
Sometimes
Living
it's
in the game
better
for the
than
last 30
real
months.
world. Sometimes it's better than the real life. You know?
I
That's why we
mean,
play
yeah,
games,
that
right? It's a game.
sometimes having an artificial sky tree that's bigger than literally everything on the planet that's giving everything a golden and greenish glow. Yeah, I'd say that could be quite, you
It's
know.
literally the combination of Fallout. Call it.
Pave, you wanna give your review?
Okay, yeah, really awesome world, really awesome bosses. A little bit of they kind of copy paste for a while. They're still really fun. Interesting story. Just got to look it up a lot. Multiplayer is really fun when it works, and when it doesn't, it's the worst experience ever. 3 out of
10.
Not that good of a game, huh?
10.
No,
You're gonna
it's
be the
number one
best
on
game
this list. What
ever
are you
when it
talking about?
works.
He
No,
never gives anything higher than a 4.
no, 9 out of 10 for sure.
9 out of 10. What would you do to make it better?
I literally just told you.
Would be the multiplayer?
The multiplayer works. They don't do as much copy and pasting. That hue color was more of a nitpick. I don't really mind. The controls are kind of garbage in terms of switching to your spells and stuff.
To begin with the
Yeah.
nitty-gritty of it now.
I mean, yeah, but the first two are kind of big.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, if I was really stingy, I'd say 8 out of 10. But I love the game so much, so that's 10.
Yeah.
Definitely 9 out of 10 or something.
And just to round everything off, it's me. Hi, your captain of the episode.
Yeah, you only told us
Funky.
about like 5 times. Every time I talk,
know.
I'm the
Just
captain.
making sure,
I'm
you know
talking.
it.
I'm the
Making sure you know.
Sheila and Sheila.
All right, before you wrap it up, let me say this: you two we were fighting a hard boss, and all the time, okay, the desync issues that happen a lot, right?
Mhm.
But my God, you guys were at that boss for literally 8.5 hours because
Yeah.
is
Oh,
either like you were
well,
desyncing or you would like just
Yes.
Wiz, you would be dying.
but in our defense, we did play her when she was unintentionally super buffed.
Yes,
So-
we did. We
But
played
she
her
was
when
literally
she was
swinging against the air,
literally
and she was gaining
8.5
health.
hours of
Yeah, it was
Wiz
long.
dying.
fucking garbage.
And then eventually I did mine. We did it a few times. I was like, screw that. I did it by myself.
I-
Killed her without being touched.
Yep.
All right, yeah, that's my I'm done.
Are you gonna readjust your score?
No,
out of
I
10?
still 10 out of 10. It probably
10
be 11 out of
10 out
10
of
hearing you die much. Okay, I'm done.
My review, the captain's review.
Oh my God. The captain's review.
The captain's review.
The undoubtedly the best
Oh.
review of the game.
Well,
10 out of 10. Give it a try.
all right.
Yeah.
That's good. So
I have nothing else to say. I spent
we
the
got
entire episode talking about it.
a 6 out of 10 from Funky, a 9 out of 10 for me, and a 10 out of 10 for you.
Well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I died a lot. I wasted a lot of time
Game's
dying.
kinda
I did
trash.
at least down to a 9.
It's
The
kinda
multiplayer,
trash. We like
multiplayer
slowly
aspect,
decrease our ratings.
like the
You know what?
multiplayer aspect sort of brings it down a bit. I'll give that
Yeah.
an 8.
By
the-
yourself, 10 out of 10.
By myself? No, well, I mean, I prefer to play it with multiplayer.
Well,
There's
I'm
a
just
lot I
saying,
still
like,
haven't
this is a
seen.
review, right? For people that are planning to play by themselves, 10 out of 10.
Right, if you're gonna play it, if you're gonna play the game, definitely. If you had any doubts about playing the game, play the game. It's worth every penny. Like
Yeah.
we play our games based off of like £1 per hour we've spent on it, or $1 per hour we've spent on
Not
it.
me, I base my games off of Angry Joe.
Good
Shush,
word.
shush, shush, shush.
Lord and Master.
Lord and
Maybe-
Master.
Maybe he'll sponsor us.
Maybe Angry Joe sponsors Cruising Altitude.
Yeah.
We need it, please.
Um,
Anyway, think that's it for today.
Thank
I think
you,
we're gonna be
thank you, viewers, for not buying Elden Ring and waiting for the cruising altitude review. like 4 months, 5 months in.
Yeah,
We really
You're
appreciate you
welcome.
waiting. You're like, oh, I'm on the fence, but we gotta wait for cruising altitude. What do they say about it? It's a
my
pretty
God.
good game.
So
Well-
what's the general consensus score here? Would be like an 8.
about an average 8 out of 10. If we're
Oh my
talking,
god,
because,
you
only
guys are
because
going
of
crazy.
only
Like for
because of
real, it needs to be
Funky.
a 10.
But you said 6 out of 10.
I was
Yeah, you said
joking.
six. You're the one bringing it
I
down
was
here, man.
joking.
Oh, you never heard the. Oh, so you have a 10, a 9, and a 10. No,
Yeah.
10 and a 9 and a 9.
So we
9
got
and
a
a half.
9.5,
9.5.
9.5 out of 10.
9.33.
That's pretty
The
damn good.
0.5 is the multiplayer problems. Everything
9
else is
Smurgles
pretty
after
good.
50 blankets.
That is, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So we're coming into a landing, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be landing in the sunny Bahamas somehow, and
No, not yet. We're not going
Not
to the
yet?
Bahamas later in
we're
like a
going to the
month.
but what if we land in the Bahamas now, and then we land in the
Oh.
Bahamas again? We're going from the Bahamas to the Bahamas next time, okay?
Okay, fine. For landing
The
now,
bottom of the
can
Bahamas
Pretty
to
pretty
the
short
top.
flight. It's gonna be
Can
a
I
2-minute
suggest that
episode.
we like take like a little boat and like carve out a place for us to like relax later on.
Yeah. Of course. We're gonna get a nice tree trunk, one of those big thick palm trees.
I'm gonna make
Got it.
Funky wear one of those coconut bras.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a bikini just because I'm into that shit.
I'm gonna wear normal stuff like an old.
Okay.
You freak.
Well,
Being normal.
everybody enjoy the Bahamas. This has been Cruising Altitude. We hope you enjoyed your flight, and we'll see you in the
In
next
3 months.
flight. 3 months.
No,
for the
it's
next
not gonna be
episode.
that long.
3 months. The Elden Ring review is late by 3 months, and if you're a real trooper, you'll wait for the next 3 months for the video to get up on YouTube.
Next review, we
2023 for the next review.
Maybe
January
First Breath of the
maybe
Wild.
the episodes took so long to be posted because we kept crashing the damn plane. This time we
I mean,
landed nice and smooth.
These planes are expensive, by the way. You can't replace a plane as easy.
69 months.
we're
no,
crashing-
69 months.
69 years. All right. But
All right,
yeah,
land or
thanks
yeah.
again, guys.
Land.
We've been landed for the last
Land-
15
land the
minutes.
fucking
I've been
plane,
waiting on
Jack.
you two schmucks to get off the
Keep
plane.
landing.
Land.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Land.